is Detroit Tigers season opener. Like I said last segment, that means we're just that much closer to the home opener. So now I properly defer to our credentialed Tigers beat writer and reporter, Mr. Matthew Broder.
I'm so excited. Also, I'm not the only baseball guy on this team here, this starting five. JB's getting excited. KG knows his baseball. Flannel knows his baseball.
I'm excited.
Kool-Aid, I know you do too, and you're getting up to speed.
Hey,
this is going to be a fun season,
it.
bro.
I love it, man.
This is going to be a fun season. Today, it opens up. We got Southpaws on the mound. We got Tarek Skubal against Garrett Crochet, making his first major league start down in for the Chicago White Sox. He's pitched in the bigs before, but this is his first major league start. But the question I want to pose while we get into our opening day coverage is, how do these Tigers get off to, or how do they avoid that dreaded start that they experienced last year and in 2021? That start was a huge reason why they missed out on the playoffs last year, why they missed out on really a shot at the AL Central. So I'm going to pose it to you guys. What do they got to do to avoid that dreaded start?
You know, Broder, I actually want you to answer that first, because I've got I've got some thoughts, but I know I've kind of dominated the first hour of the show. Broder, as the credentialed Tigers beat writer, I'll let you answer that first.
Ask the question to myself, but they got to take care of business both against the teams in their division. Also, they got to win their home games. Coming up into these first 30 games that are from today to the end of May, the teams that they play have a .457 win percentage. We got the White Sox, the Athletics, the Mets, even the Twins. You play 7 games against the Twins, 3 against the Royals. You got to start hot. I don't know exactly what specifically they need to do, but their pitchers need to continue the success that they had through spring training into April. I expect some of these young guys, I expect there to be games where this offense can't score many runs, but I expect the same thing out of some of these teams they're playing. Other than the Rays, other than the Twins will be a tough matchup. The Rangers, you got to pitch well, and I think they can. If they can get out of April a couple games over 500, I'll even accept just an over 500 record. Yeah. I think that sets up this rest of the year looking really good for this Tigers team.
You know, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, just kind of quickly for me, just on a base level, it's solid pitching. I know that we have some expectation for this starting pitching. We have some expectation for the closers as well.
Yeah.
And honestly, more so than even consistent hitting, hopefully timely hitting. Because I know that sometimes the hitting can take a little bit of time to catch up to where the pitching might be to start the season. So timely hitting and solid starting pitching. It's good, KG.
Yeah, and to me, you hit it on the head. To me, it's plate discipline. Keeping the line moving. Like, we don't have a lot of bombers on this squad. We know Torque can hit a lot of homers. We know Carpenter can hit homers, and also Riley Green, but we don't have a lot of bombers on this team. So what we need is just good, solid plate discipline. I'm not so much worried about the pitching. It'll be there, but we have to provide run support, and you do that by taking smart swings at the plate, Javi Baez notwithstanding. If he just doesn't swing the bat, he'll probably get walked, but I know he won't do that. But yes, keep the line moving, plate discipline. I feel like if they can do that early in the season, we will see results, from this team.
JB?
No, I'm just excited to see this team out here for the first time. I know spring ball, we got to experience a lot of what this team has to offer, but now it's time to actually put everything that you learn into action. And it starts with this game right now. I'm just excited to see them out there right now. Let's get some hits.
Let's get some hits.
Hey, and I'll tell you what, too, and this is I did a little bit of digging. I think there's not even a whole lot that the Tigers necessarily need to do in terms of strategy. Here's the reality of the situation. They're a better team this year than they were last year, and their schedule is easier. You already mentioned how this season they've got a series against the A's at home. They got a series against the Royals at home. The Mets, the White Sox, who else?
They got the Cardinals and the Royals both at home.
But like the Mets and the White Sox, they're not projected to be playoff teams. The Pirates, that was who I was thinking of. Yeah. But yes, in 2023, listen to this last season and tell me how this team was supposed to get off to a good start. They had 5 road series in April last year. Sheesh. At Tampa, at Houston, at Toronto, at Baltimore, best record in the AL, and at Milwaukee, division winner. And oh, by the way, they also had a 4-game homestand against that 101-win Baltimore Orioles team. So The fact that they were even 10-17 actually wasn't the worst thing in the world. And for all the people who are still down on the Tigers or kind of have some muted expectations for them, Neil Rule, let me give you a little bit of a perspective.
Fire.
Do you know what their last season's opening day lineup? Would you care to listen to this?
Sure.
Leading off, Matt Vierling. Fine, good player. Batting second, Javi Baez.
Yuck.
Hitting third, at the time relatively unproven Riley Green, who at the time he was relatively unproven. Yep. Batting cleanup,
Miggy.
Eric Haas.
Oh, it was Eric. Oh,
and his
they did
528 OPS last season. Batting fifth, unproven Spencer Torkelson coming off of kind of a rough rookie season. At the time, we didn't really know. He ended up having a good year. Batting sixth, Austin Meadows.
Whew.
We all know what a nothing he's been for the team, although I hope he's doing all right. Batting seventh, the corpse of Miguel Cabrera. You can't get mad at me for that. Don't even try. You can't get mad at me for that. The corpse of Miguel Cabrera. Batting eighth, Jonathan Scope.
Sheesh.
And his 550 OPS last season, 0 home runs. Batting ninth, at the time, not even close to being ready for the big leagues, Ryan Kreidler. We wish he had him this year, but last season he certainly wasn't ready at the time. This season, you've got Kerry Carpenter, wasn't there last year. You got Riley Green, who's more proven, led the team in on-base percentage. You've got Parker Meadows, who in his short stint had a .338 on-base percentage. You got Spencer Torkelson, 31 home runs, 94 RBIs. You got Jake Rogers, who was second on the team in home runs with 21, had a .730 OPS. You've got Colt Keith, who had a very good spring and a .382 on-base percentage in the minors. You've got the additions of Mark Canha, who had a .355 on-base percentage last year, which would have led the team, and Gio Urshela with a .338 on-base percentage in his 2022 season with the Minnesota Twins. Although if you have some injury concerns, I can't really necessarily blame you. Before I let everybody respond, I also have to give this context. Listen to who was pitching for them last season. Their opening day starter, Eduardo Rodriguez, had a good year, but still.
Yeah, we know how that turned out.
Spencer Turnbull, injury problems, poor play, now he's with the Phillies. You know who started their third game? Joey Wentz.
Yuck.
Happy in the role that he's in, or at least to be seen the role that he's in. Last season, he had a .690 ERA and 19 starts. Who was their starter in the fourth game? Matthew Boyd. Terrible year last season, only 15 starts. And their fifth starter was Matt Manning, who didn't even crack the rotation this year. This year, you got Casey Mize back. You got Tarek Skubal on opening day. You got Jack Flaherty, who looks to have regained some of his form in spring training. You got Kenta Maeda, and you've got Reese Olson, and you've got the softer schedule. I just think by purpose, by way of having a better team on opening day, having a softer schedule, you are going to avoid that start, because last season with the schedule that they played and the talent that they had, there was no way they were winning anything at the beginning of the year, which is why Tigers fans should have a lot more hope for this season. Look at how much the roster has improved just in 1 year.
Yeah.
It's insane. Their opening day lineup was terrible last season. It was awful. Having Spencer Turnbull, Joey Wentz, and Matthew Boyd be your second, third, and fourth starters, that's malfeasance, or at least it turned out to be malfeasance. This year, you're not going to have any of those problems. And you also have a returning bullpen, and you added Shelby Miller. The Detroit Tigers will not get off to that slow start this year. No chance.